Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video. So today I'm working in the large Dilutions journal. I'm just adding a thin layer of gesso to both pages. This is something I always do because it does mean that the pages are better ready to receive the different mixed media things that I'm going to use. So I'm starting off with a Dina Wakley fuchsia and just brushing that around on the page. It's quite a dry brush that I'm using initially, and then I did add some water to help the paint move around a bit. It's such a pretty colour, this fuchsia, I love it. And then I'm taking a Tracy Scott stencil and a baby wipe, and I'm just doing the ghosting technique where you remove the paint through the stencil and it leaves the image behind. It's really pretty. And then I'm using the same stencil and I'm using lime and just going in and adding some more stencil detail to the background. Next I'm using mineral and again just continuing using the same stencil and adding some more stenciling. Now I'm just going in with some carnation, so a slightly lighter pink, and just continuing to add more detail. So I'm building up the detail in the background all the time, overlapping the stenciling, using another pink. This one is magenta. And then I am using the mineral that was left behind and just doing a wash of watered down colour over the page. Then I'm going to draw a face to go on the page. So in the usual way that I do, just drawing the face shape and then mapping out where things are going to go. So then for this page, I wanted the face to be kind of doing like, you know, when you put your finger to your lips, like you're being quiet, shh. I wanted that sort of image. So I did look on online to find a reference image because drawing hands is so hard. It isn't something I'm particularly good at. You can see I spent ages trying to get the fingers right. But in the end, I just kind of went with what sort of looked mostly okay. So that's all right. But definitely having a reference image really did help. And then it just comes together. You're like, oh yeah, thank goodness for that. And then again, I've used the Jane Davenport License to Quill ink pen and just sketched in the features, and then I'm just using it watered down just to add some shadows onto the hair and face and body. And it's nicest because you can gradually build it up. If it's not dark enough, you can add more shadow. Once it's dry, the more water you add, the paler it is, and then it's going to just be stuck onto my page. I'm just sticking it in using a glue stick. So then I'm using this stencil by Dina Wakley, the Yes You Can stencil, and a bit of white paint, and adding a little bit more detail into the background, just breaking up some of those areas of the darker pink. Unlike me, there are some areas of sort of slightly white space. That's not usual, is it, for me? But there we go. And then the mantras stencil and adding a little bit more text. So you can see this background has just been created using stencils, and it's got quite a lot of interest in it. So it's quite an easy way that you can create an interesting background, but only using stencils. So this is a stencil set again by Tracy Scott, and I just love these round ones. You know, anything circular, and I'm there. I love circles. So I've just stamped them onto some ordinary printer paper. I'm just going to cut them out, and then they will be stuck onto the page. Then it was just working out how I wanted to arrange them. And then drawing some lines with them hanging like decorations. If you weren't confident to draw the straight lines yourself, you could obviously use a ruler, but I find when drawing lines like that, the faster you go, the straighter they are. So that's not a bad tip. I'm just adding some white details on there as well, using a Signo Uniball, if only I could speak, a Signo Uniball gel pen. You notice the lady has got some blush on her cheeks. Again, that's the Jane Davenport Palette Pastels. And then I've got a little, kind of almost like a little reference book of fonts that I like that I've collected. And I've just I've laminated them and just put them on like a giant keyring, so that when I'm wondering how to do my text or what font to use, I can just look through there like a reference and come up with some ideas. One thing I would love to learn to do, seriously, why can't I speak today, is to learn sort of more a calligraphy style of writing. So I think that's maybe a goal for this year. So you notice that I'm just sketching out lines where my letters are going to go. So I've got a top and a bottom line, so that I'm trying to keep my letters pretty much the same size. If you really wanted them to be very accurate, obviously you could measure the lines so that your letters are all the same height. Then I've just used a script stamp, I think it's from Stampers Anonymous, and just added some black stamping onto the page, and then some white splatters. And then there's the finished page. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video.